Before we move on to the hotel we were staying in, I just want to tell you about a very useful site that I came across on Facebook. I had in my mind a couple of hotels we talked about, we'd looked at and things like that. But the hotel that was finally booked is called Sea Breezes Beach House in Maxwell. And I happened the same day to come across, I was on Facebook and suddenly this hotel popped up, but it said fans of. I thought that's strange. So I looked into it, and it's a page of people who've actually stayed there or stayed there, and they're all helping each other with tips for new people coming, and they love this place so much. Shout out to Rob Wallace. He gave us so many tips and things, and also Joanne Keeler. She's an admin on that site. These people are just, in fact, everyone on there is just so nice. All they want to do is to promote the hotel that they've had a fabulous time in, and to give you tips and hints on where to go on the island, what to do. It was brilliant. I didn't need to see a travel agent or anyone else. They had it. They told you the best places to eat, and I got so much information ready before we even flew out. So if you're thinking about going out and you like the look of the hotel we stayed, definitely have a look on the pages, and have a look. I would imagine if Sea Breezes has got a fans page, other hotels probably have something similar, so it's worth checking out. Anyway, let's get on to the hotel. Taxi drive down, we were probably 15 to 20 minutes from the airport, very quick. Pulled in, it was by this time it was night time, but as we pulled up and we got out the taxi, the first thing that I noticed was this whistling sound. It's really, I said to John, what's that? Was it parrots? Is it? I didn't know what it was. Turned out it was whistling frogs. They're everywhere on an evening, and oh my God, I just love them. I didn't actually get to see one. We looked it up on the internet, what they looked like. I would have loved to have seen them. They hide in the bushes, but they just kind of make this whistling. It's just lovely. You'll pick it up on the video. It's beautiful, and I really miss it coming home. There's so many things like that I really miss. Anyway, we got into reception. Very nice entranceway into the hotel, quite colonial, which was something that I really wanted that colonial feel. So got into reception, very straightforward, lovely people there. It wasn't busy, there was another couple waiting, they were filling their forms in. Sat us down, went and got us a rum punch each. Now John likes the rum punch. I can't say I'm a great lover of it. I have rum other ways with Coke or etc. But I wasn't a great lover, so John had 2 rum punches. But I could have asked for anything. They're so lovely. Filled our forms in. Before we knew it, we were being whisked away. 2 of the guys who work at the hotel came, grabbed our luggage for us. They escorted us through to our room. And it was so straightforward. And they said to us that one of the things they say to you when you arrive there, just relax, you're in Barbados now, relax, chill. And it's really, by day 2, you really are picking up on that vibe. So what, it's fine, it'll sort itself, it doesn't matter. Never felt that way because I live like stressed all the time. So it's so nice to just have this warmth floating over me of calmness and the time to actually enjoy things. You know, I said about, will we be able to get into the restaurant to eat tonight and things like that. I said, oh, of course, you know, time doesn't matter. It's just we were booked in there and they'd feed us regardless, so there was no problems with time. It's a lovely feeling, that. And our room, oh, yes, it had the wow factor. We were staying in an oceanfront, a luxury oceanfront junior suite. And it's in what they call the mahogany block. It's the only block in the hotel that has an elevator, so that's worth noting if you've got an issue with stairs. It's a very modern block. It's there later. Well, we're new. It's been up quite a few years, but it's their moderner block. The other blocks, I believe, have 2 or 3 flights of stairs. People say they're lovely rooms. I don't know. I didn't see them. Nobody seems to have any complaints there with things like the rooms or anything. And that people have said, if you do, just go and see the management team. They are so helpful and will help you. So that's a tip. But our room, I wouldn't have changed it for anything. We were on the very top floor. The view was to die for. When they call Barbados a land of the island of palm trees and white beaches and the azure blue seas, they're not kidding. I mean, it was, I couldn't stop looking at the colour of the water. and I couldn't take my eyes off palm trees, because although we've been to Mexico and we laid under palm trees and things, I think there seemed to be a lot more of them. So probably wasn't, but it felt very different to Mexico. That's another thing, totally different, and it does feel really safe. So anyway, I'm diversifying from the hotel at the moment. There's lots of storage in the room, in our room. I can only speak about our room, but if you fancy our room, I can guarantee you, great big wardrobe, lovely big safe, super drawers, huge telly, a lovely veranda balcony with like it's like a chaise lounge you can lay on if you wish, and a lovely other squishy chair you can sit on an evening or during the day. I love that. It was just so nice to come in from the beach, have a shower, and then sit there with a cup of coffee. Lovely sitting there. And also in our room we did have lovely big sofa, super comfortable, a lovely chair. There was a mini bar that was stocked. Also on the top shelf we had 3 spirits that they topped up. We actually were having cocktails and things. We hardly touched the stuff in our room, which feels like a great shame, really. John did have a couple of rums, and I had a rum and coke, because one bottle was a Mount Grey rum, then there was a vodka, and then there was a gin. And in the mini bar there was cokes, there was tonic waters, milk for your coffees. There was a bottle of fizzy wine. We didn't even open that. So I mean, and beers for John, and they stocked them up every day if you went through them. I think the first couple of days John did have a couple of the Banks beers, which is the beer of the island, and people really love it. He had a couple of those, but then it just all seemed to, like, there was so much for us to have, you don't need that much, but it's lovely to have it. There was a goodie tray on the coffee table as well, of Barbadian, like, sweet things, biscuits and just sweet nibbles, with a very nice touch. We did scoff most of them as well, so I enjoyed those as well. The bed, huge, really super comfy. I think John found it slightly too soft. I didn't. I slept so well there. And plenty of places with USB ports to plug your phones in and things like that. And we didn't have the issue that we thought we might with mosquitoes. Also, the air conditioning worked very well. So they're all bonuses. Good lighting, plenty of lights. You could have soft lighting, you could have full light. I can't think of, there was an iron there and a ironing board. I literally looked around the room and I could not fault it. It was just so comfortable, with a splash of Caribbean colour everywhere, which kept you thinking, well, I'm not just in a luxury hotel room, I'm in the Caribbean. The paintings and things like that just really fill the place with a lovely Caribbean feeling. The bathroom was beautiful. The toiletries were by the White Company, which is so nice to get nice toiletries. They weren't just some stuff that dries your skin or anything like that, because I didn't take enough moisturiser, and I actually used the White Company moisturiser every day, and it was beautiful. So don't worry about that. Our bathroom was huge. Our shower was massive, and it was a very good shower as well. No problems with hot water, loads of towels. The sink was big. I do like having 2 sinks normally, but we only had one here, so we had to share. I like my own, but we had to share. But there was plenty of place for me to shove all my, John calls it, all my crap, all my makeup and cream and everything. And there was a shelf underneath, so we didn't have any issues of putting stuff about the place. And inside the shower there was a place to stand you. They had their own White Company shower and shower gel and things in there, but I in the shower I like to take my own stuff, so there was a place to stand it, so it was brilliant. I could not fault it at all. I could not fault the room. We absolutely loved it. And interestingly enough, the amount of hotels we go to where it's key cards, quite often we have to go and get them redone or re-registered. Not here. They were first time. No, they weren't key cards. Scratch it. They were like bangles, a bit like Centre Parks are doing now, with all the details in. You just flashed it against the lock. It opened. We had no problem getting in and out at all. And also we found that you can get up at 5-6 a.m. and just walk outside the hotel and walk along the beach. You'll see people out getting up and getting the sunset. It's a lovely feeling. You just feel there's 24-hour reception, so you know there's someone always around. You feel incredibly. We went for loads of walks, very, very safe. People are just nice, and they all want you to have a good time, and they are happy themselves. I'll move on now to the rest of the hotel. I'm going to talk about the dining and the food. This was an all-inclusive hotel, and a lot of people had said, oh, don't go to Barbados all-inclusive, because you'll find that you won't try the actual Barbadian, these like, what are they like? Burger vans and things that seem to line everywhere around beaches and things, and rum shack bars and things like that. People say you won't get to try them, so don't go all-inclusive. My thing on that point was that we were going for a week's relaxation. I really hate having to go hunting around for a restaurant that I'm going to feel comfortable in. So I thought, no, I wanted all that taken care of. I didn't want to have to worry about how many cocktails we were paying for. And also the guys on the fan page had also told me on Facebook that the cocktails were to die for, and that is true. I can guarantee you. I had some of the best mojitos. John had mudslides, just really good cocktails. You couldn't fault the quality. The rum is absolutely delicious as well. So going back to dining, the first restaurant we went into is the buffet restaurant, and it's called Mahogany Restaurant. Really nicely done. It doesn't feel like a cafeteria. Trust me, I've been into quite a few all-inclusives, and the main buffet restaurant can very much feel like a cafeteria. This doesn't. And you also can sit, you get showed with your table, you sit down, and if they're not ready, if the food's not ready, they simply don't open the dividing doors, so you have to sit and wait a minute. And that's, everyone's just chilled to come and top your drinks up, top your wine up. It's not an issue, but it means your food is hot and they are ready to actually serve you, it's a nice way of doing it. Choices. I never went hungry. Every time we ate in there, I did not go hungry. The food, there is loads of choice. Lunchtimes, there's loads of salads, there's pastas, there's cold meats, there's cooked meats. There's always something hot on. There's always salads on. And quite often there's like the carving a joint of ham or a joint of beef and things like that. So there's always something to eat. You don't get shed loads of chips like you do in Tenerife. That's something you need to know. You can get chips there. There's like a restaurant near the pool, Flying Fish, and that does burgers and chips and fish fingers and chips and things like that. So you can get chips. We actually found out on our second last day that you could actually, on a lunchtime, you can order from that menu in the Mahogany Restaurant, which we did. John had burger and chips, and it was very good. So you can get chips, but in the buffet there's rice and, well, it's rice and what I would call like kidney beans, but it's not. It's rice and peas, classic of the Caribbean. There's always those. Lots of potatoes, sweet potatoes, all those things. So we didn't go hungry, but I didn't always find the way they cook things quite to my liking. I'm being totally honest here. I'm not taking anything away from it, because I thought it was fabulous, and I stuffed my face with cakes every day. So there's nothing. It's just I am a very fussy eater. I always found chicken. It was fine. It was well cooked, and probably that's the difference. They put everything on a grill, where I tend to put things in a pan or in the oven. So it was just cooked differently. Did it stop me eating it? No, and it wasn't too spicy. So I would say, and everyone else, like I said, I'm not a great salad eater, but I saw people going away with plate loads of delicious looking salads. So it's like I didn't find any issue with food there. I always had something to eat every day, often 3 times a day. So I don't want you to worry about the food. It's just that, and I think the only other thing that I had any issue with food is the fine dining restaurant is absolutely beautiful, and we went in there twice. And on the last occasion, you don't pay any extra for this, by the way. This is in your package. They served me a whacking great steak, and I do like steak. But it was too big for me. But B, again, it was slightly tougher. I'd like mine probably a bit pinker, that's the thing. Over here we do have our meat steaks medium rare. And it wasn't quite, and they were so sweet, because I'd ate some of it, ate quite a bit of it, and they said, oh, do you want another meal? They really wanted to please me. But actually I'd had enough. It's just, it wasn't quite how I like it cooked. So it's personal preference. But I again, I wasn't hungry. I had loads of veggies. I had the starter and I also had the main course. So it didn't worry me at all, you know. So we didn't feel we had to go out. We only ate out once. And that was because I'd booked a really special meal at a restaurant that people had told me about. So if you're going there worrying that you won't be able to get pizza and chips for the kids, you can get it. And they really go out of the way to make sure that you have the food that you want. So there's no issues there. And breakfast time, now breakfast time, they actually cook proper pork sausages. We've been to so many places and you think, oh, breakfast sausages. And they're those hot dog things, which I quite like, in all fairness, but they're not a pork sausage. Where these were delicious. I pork sausage every day, and I don't really do too well on that. So how strange is that? But John, the omelette station, Marcy, generally runs the omelette station. She's absolute gem. She cooked John the best omelettes he's ever had. So there you go. And she will do poached eggs. I think Rob said she'll even do a hollandaise sauce and make eggs Benedict for you if you ask. Scrambled eggs, all fresh, you know. Smoothies at breakfast time. There's just no end to what was there for you. The list was long. I was very, very impressed. We said straight away day one we weren't going to go hungry. We certainly didn't. In fact, I come home, I put weight on, and we walked a lot. So anyway, let's move on from there. Just before I actually do move on to the beaches and the sea and the swimming pools, just wanted to say about the wine. You can have wine, you can have beer with every meal, and they don't leave you sat there with just, you know, a glass, which we have done at other places. They come over and say, can we top you up? Do you want another drink? What would you like? You know, so there's no end of booze, trust me. But the wine, I would have loved the opportunity. The wine I drank every day, so it wasn't, I'm not saying it was bad, but just I would have loved the opportunity, like when we went into the fine dining restaurant, to be able to buy a bottle of wine that I really liked. That's the only thing I missed because the wine was perfectly drinkable. But when you're having a nice meal, I do rather like to sit down with a really nice bottle. And I would have happily said to them, yeah, I'll pay for that wine, £30. Good wine. I wouldn't have minded because that's what I do when I eat here, when we eat out. So it was just a shame, you know, like I said, it didn't stop me drinking the wine. Trust me, I had plenty of it. But it just wasn't when I was going for the other meals. I would have liked, I think if they had the opportunity, a few bottles stood on a bar of specials that you could buy, that would fulfill people like me. Anyway, moving on now. Let's do the beach, the swimming pools, the sea. The sea is warm. The sea is absolutely beautiful. I didn't actually swim in the pools. I did swim in the sea once. I also got thrown out to sea by a giant wave. You get a thing in Barbados called a swell, and when there's what they call a full swell on, the red flags go up. Please don't ignore them. This sea is very strong. Now we have been told if we go back, we'll probably go a bit further around to the west coast. We were on the south coast, and the sea is much calmer. But 2 or 3 of the days we were there, it was well choppy. Still went in the sea. I went up to like nearly waist high and then quite often got blown back out. But I did get a swim in it. Oh, it was gorgeous. John swam in it, but he got through out as well. So like I say, it's a strong sea, so do be careful. Children were swimming in the sea on their own. I am not a strong swimmer, by the way. There is a roped off area where there's this sea trampoline. Kids love it, lots of fun. If I could have got to it, I would have gone on it. Anyway, the kids were actually, as John said, only swimming in the area that was roped off, and apparently that's because people are keeping an eye on them and it's a safe zone. I unfortunately didn't try swimming in that area. I tried. We went further down the beach. On the beach. The beach is to die for. It is stunning. In fact, I didn't see a beach I didn't love when I was there. But you walk 3 steps down from the hotel and you're on the beach. The hotel, by the way, has loads of canopied sun lounges. You don't have to worry about fighting for a sunbed. You will get sunbed. And the hotel is not massive and it's spread out. So even though we were there peak season, you don't feel crowded. You don't. There's seats everywhere. You go in the bars. You don't struggle to get a seat. You get served straight away. It's spread out and it's just lovely. There's little nooks and crannies everywhere where you can sit, and there's a little rum shack. The guy in them, he's amazing. An old guy, been with him 23 years, and he made my mojito. And oh my God, he was just an expert. And he took a little teaspoon, he tasted it before he was putting the lime juice in to make sure it's just perfect. And I thought, I really loved that, really loved it. And then the Tipsy Bar, that's on the beach. Well, John and I were there every day. It has a list of rules, and one of them is that you don't leave it. So we didn't oblige him on that one. And we were going out for dinner. We were having dinner each night. We wanted to make sure we got there. But we did I had a few rums and cokes there, and it's on the beach. They'll come and feed you. They do tacos and fries, and you can spend the day there quite happily. They do look after you. It's absolutely fabulous. That's, again, all part of the package. There's so much to love about that place, and I am missing it so much. We're kind of tired that if we do go back, we don't know whether we might go back there or go further west and try it. But knowing how much we've both felt so at home there, and we can walk outside this hotel and walk to our left or to our right. 15 minutes either way brings you to like small towns with different beaches. We went to Ostins, where the famous fish market is on a Friday and on Friday night, big party night down there. And we went on to Pier 1 and I actually saw turtle. Absolutely beautiful, but sadly by the time I faffed around to get my phone out and take a picture of it, it was gone. That was the only turtle I saw. But people say that they do come in when the fishing boats come in, the turtles come in. And there's other areas on the island where you go to see the turtles. And that's, like I say, that's the shops there, there's a supermarket there. So you can walk there and you can go walk down. The other day we walked down to Lawrence, I think it's Lawrence, what they call the Gap in St. Lawrence or Lawrence Gap or something. Anyway, that was nice. Lots of shops there and a cake shop. Lots of restaurants there. So although, I mean, our area was really very quiet and I like that. There is entertainment and it's lovely in the hotel on the night. Singers and guitar players and there's a steel band occasion. There's always something happening, and you get on your telly, you get this day's events and things if you want to take part in it. We did very little. We just totally chilled and it was perfect for us. And I would say to anyone, you will not be disappointed. People told me that and I thought, oh yeah, I'm sure to find something. Well, I'm thinking, oh, well, this isn't right, that's not good. And no, I didn't find that at all. I was just every day kept saying to John, I love it here, I love it here. He must have been so sick of hearing that. Reminded me, I haven't told you about, I said I'd booked a special meal. I booked this 2 months before we ever left the UK. And that was down to the people on the fan page site telling me, if you're going out for a special meal, this is where you should go. And it's called Champers. And it is literally, it's built on the side of the ocean and it overhangs the seas rolling into you. And we had a seat right by the sea. They call it, I think, on the rails. But that restaurant, oh my God, I would have happily been in London going to that restaurant. The quality of the food, the quality of the drink, the staff was superb. Man, the staff at the hotel are superb as well. They're absolutely fabulous. Don't like calling them staff, they were like friends. But that restaurant, if you want to do something special, and they do lunches, which is a bit cheaper, but everyone said to me, oh, it is pricey, be prepared. Okay, we live in Salisbury, the south of England. If we want to go for a really good meal, and wine, because I bought a bottle of wine when we were in Champers, and John had a cocktail as well. I think we paid about £200 for the evening. We had 3 courses, we had a bottle of wine, John had a cocktail, and we pay that, and we pay more than that in the UK if we go for a fine dining restaurant, and didn't leave a thing. It was cooked to perfection. I didn't leave anything. We had actually creme brulee out there because that's one of our favourite desserts, and it was superb. It was absolutely beautiful. John had barracuda and he said it was the best fish he's ever had. So I mean, there you go. The food was cooked. So if you want a special night out, and if it's your birthday and you let them know or anything like that, people have told me they make it very special for you. They bring you a candle out and all things. Oh, talking about birthdays, I forgot an event we did do at the hotel, which was super special, that they set up for us. John and I had the most romantic dinner on the beach, private dinner on the beach. Now you do pay extra for that. It wasn't cheap. It was worth every single penny. You'll see it. It was incredible. I wouldn't have swapped that night for anything. We were sat under the stars with the ocean rolling in with candles round us and John's music playing, because we took our own portable speaker and had that music on. And we had the loveliest guy looking after us for the night. He was our way to do anything for us for that night. We actually were on that beach 3.5 hours with him, and it was dreamy. It was unbelievable. So check everything out, have a look at it, and like I say, save up. It's worth doing. If you want a special, we only went for a week, 8.5 hours the flight, which sounds horrendous. We were very lucky. We travelled special this time, but lots of people in the business, in the premium economy and the economy, said they're not bad flights, because you do get, when you're doing long haul, you get looked after anyway. And that's how we felt. So save up, save your pennies, go to Barbados. It's fantastic. They will make you feel one of their family. Hope you enjoy the video, and see you soon from I don't know where.